Salute! If you're new here, welcome. My name's Dan and this is an entertaining and edifying Christian show where I'm not selling anything but truth. So get yourself something that'll make you nice and comfortable. Let's get this party started. It really breaks my heart when I see women that were so naturally beautiful, just the way that God created them. And little imperfections here and there, even the most beautiful woman, the way God created them, they're gonna have a few imperfections in their mind, but that's what makes them cute and beautiful to some people. And it really breaks my heart when they get a massive amount of work done, when it is so unnecessary at any age. And I'm sure it breaks the Father's heart too. Oh man. And for the ones that already crossed that barrier and got some work done, I pray that they at least know when to quit when they're ahead, because they'll be forgiven. But there's a fine line in getting a few things done where you still look okay and natural, and going overboard, and you've gone to a point of no return, unfortunately. I just pray that if they did get work done, they at least know when to stop too. Because yes, there's a fine line between still having some natural beauty and being beyond repair, where you can't even make facial expressions anymore and have lost any semblance of natural beauty.
Whenever I see a comment like this, I feel so guilty because I've gotten so much work done. I get lip filler, I've had a nose job.
And I'm not just picking on the ladies, this applies to guys too.
Kill him. Transfer everything. And then find the notaire.
I actually joked a few videos ago how since people are leaving Instagram, I might start an Instagram again. And lo and behold, since I don't follow trends, I did. And actually, it's been going great. I've been having a blast over there. I don't consume, I just create. But from the little bit I have seen, from the small amount that I have scrolled, basically just on my desktop, I can see the aesthetics and how the web, literal and figurative web, can trap the psyche of young men and women, especially the women. I couldn't imagine being a young woman constantly consuming that kind of stuff. Let us keep the influenced and the influencers in our prayers.
I very much restrict all of my social media because I think it's A, such a time suck, and B, it can make you so sad and depressed sometimes because people can be really weird on there.
Back in my little conspiratorial days that I encourage everybody to get over. You know what you know, get past it, get back to some semblance of normalcy, while knowing what you know and keeping your guard up. But get out of those rabbit holes. They're no good. Some people aren't controlled opposition. They're just unscrupulous. And speaking of conspiratorial type people, I've taken a step back from that and just looked again at the architecture that we have. The old architecture, the beautiful stuff that we've built here in North America and in Europe, and just marvelous things. And I have a little joke. Yes, I talk to myself. I'm one of those people that talk to themselves. But I have a little joke that I do. It's the Tartaria. Oh, look, it's the Tartaria. There's no way. Nobody could have built that. We can't build that. It's the Tartaria. And this video is aimed more at professionals, but I think it's the consumers of content that could benefit from this most.
I want you to take a day off from social media. I know that probably sounds so counterproductive, but just trust me here. I'm willing to bet that you probably haven't taken a full day off of social media for a while. And when I say day off, I don't mean a day off just from posting, although that is included. I'm talking about a day off from social media completely. Like, I don't want you to open up the apps on your phone. I don't want you to consume social media content, and I don't want you to share social media content.
Back to the conspiracy theorists in this one. Maybe I'll pick on you guys a bit in this one. She's got the red bricks in the background. She's a Freemason Illuminati. I'm sorry, man. I just can't handle it anymore. I'm getting it out. But yes, a day off once a week. Like, YouTube is considered social media, so maybe not like on the Sabbath, because maybe you do want to consume some YouTube on your day of rest. But something to consider for one of the days of the week, an official day off social media, and maybe not once a week, but periodically. I know some people that have left comments do similar things, and it's definitely something to keep into consideration.
Oh, brother!
One definite exception you could use YouTube for one of those social media free days is the full, I love the voice of the guy, Geneva audio Bible, which is here on YouTube.
Dearly beloved, now are we the sons of God.
I don't give a lot of stock to dreams, especially from just random internet people or people on YouTube talking about them, because anybody can say anything about anything. But regardless, this is a good metaphorical example of how the Most High God protects people as specifically as possible. His protection can be so specific and direct, regardless of the region. Basically, he can protect whoever he wants, wherever he wants.
The dream, he talks about how troops go in and somehow God providentially protects certain cities and towns from being attacked because there's a lot of believers there, Christians there. But there's a lot of places that end up getting it. And this is hundreds of people with this dream, hundreds.
And I don't know why, but I actually found this pretty funny.
I'm going to have to do a video on that. Socks. It's a socks commercial. All right. Isn't he the guy who used to do the deodorant commercials?
And the amount of division in every single niche and genre online you can imagine astonishes me every day. I've listed tons of them already. I've brought up the science-based lifters versus the heavy hoister and heaver, like for bodybuilding. I've mentioned, well, obviously I've been involved in some of the Christian ones, unfortunately. And well, it's just everywhere. There's even a brand versus creators beef going on online, for Pete's sake.
So why does it feel like there's been so much animosity as of late between influencers and brands? Heated discussion between various influencers and brands. It's nasty, it's toxic.
I do like listening to this one guy, his name's The Hater, who's a cool guy, because he basically just talks about how terrible the product is now. And he brought up just about life in general, an excellent point right here.
Matt Cardona says, I'm back. I could have taken the Zack Ryder thing and wrote it till the end, but I decided to become Matt Cardona. Nobody cares, bro. Nobody gives a shit, you know? This kind of self-aggrandizing crap, like, I could have done this, but I did this instead. Shut the f*** up. Just come and entertain me. I don't want to hear your personal struggle. You know what the f*** is wrong with society nowadays? Everyone thinks it's completely normal to just burden the whole world with your personal story. Like, we don't give a flying f***. You know? Like, first AJ Lee's like, I went to therapy. Don't give a shit. Couldn't care less. Take it up with your therapist. And then this asshole comes out and he's like, I could have been Zack Ryder. Nobody cares, bro. Nobody cares.
It's so true. He makes me laugh because I couldn't agree more with when he brings up stuff like that. And don't get me started on the ridiculous food pyramid that they put together. Like, the last thing you require is the government telling you what to eat regardless. But yes, we knew, those of us who know anything about health know that the grains aren't the same as they were a long time ago. Like, say in biblical days, bread was probably quite good for you, whereas today I wouldn't touch most grains. But regardless, not getting into here or there, it's ridiculous how much of your hard-earned American tax dollars probably went into this malarkey, and they just treat you like babies.
We are maintaining the 10% of calories as saturated fat in the guidance.
How on earth would you get to that if your message was eat more cheese and fat's back? We declared the war over on fat, so eat as much as possible. Stick to the 10% though that we had in our old pyramid, which was grain-based. Don't worry, you'll figure the math out on your own, but just know that you can eat all the cheese you want. Just keep it under 10% still, somehow. Just work with that. It makes sense, trust me. Thankfully, I was reading the comments of this video, and God bless you, Americans, you're not falling for it. Like, all the comments were like, I'm not listening to these idiots about health. Like, what are you talking about? And people were like, what about the food quality? And like, how come food's so expensive? Why don't we focus on making actual healthy food cheaper? It's like, and their whole thing was like, eat real food. No more like refined sugar, no processed food. Like, that was not a part of any other pyramid ever.
And in regard to social media, and speaking of the damage it does to your brain, there's an example right there. But God is in charge. And people give far too much credit to the devil. It's, oh, the devil's doing this and the devil's doing that. And I think there might be some credibility to they have to the spiritual hedges thing. They have to reveal their plans. We don't know how all the contracts and all the complexity of it goes in the spiritual realm and with the Most High Almighty God. But He is in charge. And a lot of people say, oh, you can't trust science. But the Father is in charge, and He can reveal to you what He wants revealed to you too. And it's very interesting what science is revealing now about what social media does to the brain of people and how it hijacks it, especially our reward and impulse systems.
Why does it matter if our brain synapses are changing day to day because of Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook? Well, because the way social media changes your brain is basically turning you into a prime candidate for financial disaster. That is the brain that social media physically creates. Think about what makes someone financially irresponsible. I'll play a few quick clips from Caleb Hammer's financial audit series, and as you watch, think about what underlying traits are leading to their bad financial situation.
You spent, in your highest spending month for Pokemon, $26,000 in a singular month. Big guy, you bring in 2,817.
That was a good month, though.
You spent 10 times your income. McDonald's.
And the more I see social media and how godless and vain and materialistic this world is, when you look at something like this really isn't much of a parody if you really think about it. But just be careful, fellas. Sometimes looks can be deceiving, and don't mistake a keeper for someone who may have just escaped their caregiver for the day. My bad, I couldn't help myself with that one. And far too many quote-unquote truthers or certain sects of Christians think that finding someone with similar ideologies and theologies to them would be so great and everything would be honky-dory. And trust me, it doesn't work that way. you'll find, especially when you're almost two on the same page, you're gonna hone in on things that you don't like about them. You're gonna find things that you don't like about them, and you're not gonna like them 10 times more. Trust me on that. Opposites attract isn't just an expression. For example, I'm extremely fond of this social media manager slash content creator named Latasha James. I find her delightful. But guess what? She's a vegan who likes tarot cards.
And I think now is the time to be an early adopter. Download them, take the watermarks off. Then I think now is really the time because this is so new.
It always helps just a tad when they're easy on the eyes, though. Am I right, fellas?
Women.
And since I have been on Instagram trying to reach a different demographic and audience and age group, I've found it quite refreshing. And when I do a quick little scroll on my desktop, I give no candy to girls who are just there because of their looks. Fellas, don't just simp for the looks. Ensure that they're offering something, that they have some sort of talent. Because for my regular viewers, trio men, who? I think I've found my replacements for them 10 times over. I'm just kidding, I still love those girls. Especially Marie. But yeah, try to taper your social media use when required, and try to give your attention and engagement to real, wholesome talent that deserves the engagement. And in regard to how our brains get hijacked by godless systems and corruptions, this social media is just the next evolution, quotations, adaptation, the next step, because it's happened to us before thousands of years ago with money. Hence why scripture warns not to love it.
That's how your brain's working, except it's working and thinking those thoughts about something that is not finite. It's something that's infinite. There's money being made every day. When you perceive resources as scarce that are not, like money, your cognitive bandwidth shrinks. Okay, you make worse decisions, you can't plan long term, and you only focus on immediate value.
Even though this lady isn't a Christian, she does bring up an extremely valid point. Hence, you can listen to other people with different beliefs sometimes. But her point in regard to detaching from the opinions of others. It's a great example of living in the world but not being of the world.
The things that people were pointing out were things I would have never expected. It was like, your voice, you sound like Ben Shapiro, or steroids, or you smoke, or what's going on? Where's that coming from, right? Maybe you're asking that.
Oh, time to go in on the conspiracy theorists again. Oh, did you see her jaw? Oh, she's a secret invert boy girl. It's so funny because I've seen them do that. Conspiracy theorists are the worst, man. There's some logical ones of you out there, but man, there's a lot that just ruin it so bad because they'll see just a girl's jaw and, oh, look at them. Yet her shoulder width is half the shoulder width of mine, and she's like 100 pounds because the conspiracy. Honestly, all right, I'm over 6 feet, 230 pounds. I'm a big boy. I lift heavy weights. I'm a dude, man. And some moron, yes, if you're watching, you're a moron for leaving that comment, saw a picture of me and called me Daniela. And this was the picture of me with the trio Mandilli girls. Like, look, I'm a Nephilim compared to them. Speaking of conspiracy theories. And it was my eyes. She said my eye spacing. Like by like standards, I have like perfect eye spacing. You want your eyes to be spaced as wide as your eye is. What? This is what I'm talking about with those people. That's why I'm so fed up with them. Because I had another one of my YouTube comments recently that was like, I was talking about downloading evergreen content. I was mentioning evergreen content. And evergreen, like the tree, there's evergreen trees. It means it's good for a long time. It's applicable for a long time. It's evergreen. But she was like,
well, you said evergreen. And evergreen is what they transport the trafficking in. So I had to click off the video because you said evergreen.
Like some of these people, for people who act like they're like the toughest people ever, they're pretty soft when it comes to not being able to hear words. They get pretty sensitive. For people who make fun of other sensitive people, they're pretty darn sensitive. And not to mention, when I mention this, it never fails. I always get one that,
Give KJV, you can't read the KJV, that's the Masons. The Masons wrote and they built that King James was a Freemason. You can't be reading the KJ Freemasonry.
a lot of these people that are really faithful tend to forget sometimes that the Almighty Father in heaven is in full control. O ye of little faith. For anybody who doesn't know much about conspiracies, I'm sorry I had to put you through that. Little rant and parody's over. But long story short, yes, don't trust all the medical systems. Be less trusting of man in general. We do live in an evil world. And do your research, but don't get obsessive. Don't crawl down the rabbit holes. Don't become one of those weirdos. Because that's what happens to a lot of them. They become freakazoid weirdos, man. There's some really good ones too, who genuinely care for people and have good hearts. But man, like for example, I've been to rallies and stuff like that. I've met and talked to all kinds of different, and if you pray and you pray and you pray and you pray for answers, you will get your answers, and don't get weird about it.
Bam.
Be a cool, logical person who people wouldn't mind kind of being like, oh, they're cool, like that. I'll listen to them. They seem like a cool, logical person that isn't crazy. Because we want to plant good seed. We want people to love and accept Jesus at the end of the day. Yes, there's terrible things happening, but don't obsess over it. That does not lead to good things. And that can apply to politics and all kinds of different things too. Just the basic mainstream media. That's why I try to make these a little more upbeat and happy, because we want to know our enemy, but not focus and become entrenched in the evil and darkness. Let's try to have some peace, comfort, and joy in this life too. And pray. Pray several times a day, at least once a day. Jesus prayed. And it would be an understatement to say that we are not a gazillionth of a microfraction as good as Jesus. And he prayed often. And yes, limit your use of phones. I just, not acting holier than thou, but just using myself as an example, I try to find ways to get everything done on my computer. I try to use my phone as little as possible. And if I'm traveling or something and have to use my phone more than usual, it's weird. I feel really yucky when I have to use my phone too much.
Something very, very strange is going on. I don't know if it's just these cell phones doing something to our brains where we can't connect on a level that we used to or that we're supposed to. Something has changed in our brains. It's not as simple as money. It's not as simple as, you know, the dating market being worse than ever before. The simple things in life that people used to enjoy, they're no longer enjoying.
And until something happens, something, hopefully, Almighty Father, something happens that miraculously fixes this, which is possible, but until then, the mental issues, the lack of social skills, and the degradation of joy and our natural ability to really appreciate life is just gonna degrade and get worse and worse.
When you have children that grow up at like developmental, like early stages using this for everything, that is a problem.
No shit. And I never listen to self-improvement or motivational stuff anymore because that's what prayer and the good old Holy Bible is for. But I'm not gonna lie, my old self would have loved this lady. She's pretty cool.
Let's start with the biggest lie that you've ever been told, okay? Respect is earned from others. You don't earn respect. You set the standard for it. And most people set the bar way too low. You just leave. It's about you respecting yourself enough to walk away from the situation and not need to emotionally vomit on somebody. Because that, again, is going to make you respect yourself less.
She's basically what that fagabot Andrew Tate wishes he could be. And I just stumbled across this video. I'm definitely not a fan of this guy. I forget, there was something. Anyhow, I stumbled across this video and he does bring up a very valid point here in regard to detaching and a strategy to do so with social media.
See how they're doing or respond to comments, or I just get roped into an argument of some kind and I want to continue it on my phone. So these things filter back. But I will periodically then notice that I'm using them too much and delete them again. The back of your mind can be like, well, it doesn't work. I go back anyway. But it's an exercise. It's a repeated thing to do because each time you're putting a barrier there and you are saving yourself from some rabbit holes.
And one thing you'll notice once you spend less time on social media is you'll have a lot more time to grow and learn. Like with our sponsor today, Skillshare. I'm terrible. I obviously didn't get you. Hopefully you didn't fall for that one. Like I said at the beginning, I'm not selling anything but truth. And always be respectful, most respectful to the Most High Almighty Father in heaven, unlike this jobber.
You have everything you need inside you. It was a gift at birth from you-know-who upstairs. Some call him God Peterson. He's fun times to play poker with.
And I still like that jabron. It bothers me when people, I don't know, just jokes about the Father and Jesus just really irk me, kind of get under my skin. And if that happens to you too, I suppose, I don't suppose, that is good. That means we love them. We get jealous and we want, or I don't know if jealous is the word, but we get defensive. We want to defend them. And it hurts when people insult them. But that's the world we live in. It can hurt us, but let's try to be cool and logical and wise and calculative with the way we try to help people love Jesus and plant good seeds. We're not going to save anybody, but we can plant seeds and we can help based on our actions. And when someone says Jesus' name in vain, that's their problem. And we can, in clever ways, maybe bring it to their attention, but it definitely doesn't help if they do it and we just scream to the sky like that liberal lady meme back in the day. I'm not gonna put it up, but you know what I mean. From 2016. Let us try to be good ambassadors to our man, Christ Jesus here. And no, I'm not worshiping this picture. It's a picture I like of Jesus. He's my Lord, Savior, and King, and let's strive to try to help more people see it that way too. I'll put my 2 most recent videos here and subscribe to me if you haven't yet, and peace be with you.